Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. Thank you guys so much for joining. Before we get too deep into the show, guys, let's knock this out of the park right away. Do us a solid, support the channel, support the growth, hit that like button, and also, if you'd be willing and you're new here, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. This is our daily live YouTube show, Monday through Friday. This week has been a little bit different. We had a U.S. holiday, and we operate on U.S. Equity market hours, so we were off. And then we were traveling earlier in the week. But normally, it's Monday through Friday, 5 days a week here for Market Check. We're a little bit short-staffed this week, but we are going to rebalance here, just as these order books are hopefully rebalancing. But lots to talk about today, guys. Lots to talk about. Woke up. Todd, let
Just
me ask you,
glowing,
am I
Max.
glowing in a good way, or am I glowing as in I need to reset my camera kind of way? All right, because I got a new camera and I got a new microphone, and I feel like it looks and sounds a lot better, but I want to make sure that, because I mean this shit's top of the line, right? I want to make sure that you guys are getting the highest quality video and audio in an angelic way. Oh, Todd, thank you, sir. Todd, my goodness. Thank you, Todd. Wow.
Yes, bro.
Timbo says glowing from the
camera
red
looks good.
candles. Damn, bro. He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong. But we woke up this morning to some pretty constructive bullish price action, only to see the Jeet step in and really send us back where we belong. New York session is for Jeeting. Everybody knows that now. Patriots are not in control. It used to be where Asia would nuke us overnight, and then the Americans would wake up and basically bid this thing back up. But the unfortunate part is that Americans have somehow become paper-handed bitches. I'm just going to say it exactly how it is. Like we have lost control. Patriots have lost control. The New York session is for selling. Asia bids. Asia Chads bid. Euro Chads like to bid. Americans, they love to just farm 20% APY by, basically buying spot and then straddling with options. And it's just, it's garbage, man. It's garbage. Americans have ruined this market. I'm ashamed of my people. And I hope that one day we can come back to being the Chads that bid this market. And maybe we're not too far from that, but Asia full of Chads, Europeans full of Chads, Americans. What am I supposed to say? I mean, what am I supposed to say? Every morning I wake up, price looks good, America sells. It is what it is. But let's talk about potentially what comes next, guys. Let's talk about what potentially comes next. Even amongst some of the Bitcoin weakness locally, one, I think it's important to note that the higher time frame structure does look good. I think that this looks fine. But on top of that, even ignoring what Bitcoin USD is doing, we are seeing pockets of strength within the altcoin market, specifically the Ethereum economy, right? ETH BTC doesn't look bad. ETH dominance looks like it's about to break out. Subsequently, we are seeing a lot of, on-chain, the stronger on-chain, the stronger meme coins, the stronger ETH beta holding up tremendously well. All right. So even though Bitcoin is certainly testing our patience, and by the way, for what it's worth, I think it's about to liven up a little bit. Okay. I think that the wait is almost up. I am encouraged by the price action that I'm seeing in the altcoin market. Now, some altcoins are doomed, right? They're VC infested. They're able to basically stake and then just sell all their staking rewards. It's garbage, right? Some of these VC infested projects are scams, but the in-demand Ethereum beta, and I would even go as far to say the in-demand Solana beta should be just fine, right? And I think that things are about to wake up. And I will say this, like, if you've been here this entire time and you've held through all of this garbage, congratulations. I do believe the odds are in your favor for potentially higher prices in the coming future. So let's observe some price action, guys. Let's observe a little bit of price action. Let's prospect out what happens next. Patriots have certainly lost control. The only Patriot left in the room is Michael Saylor. He's trying to single-handedly bid this thing back up, and everybody's selling into him, man. America has lost its touch. It is what it is. America has lost its touch. America has lost its confidence. I'm ashamed. I'm truly ashamed because truly, they jump on every opportunity to jeet their bags for just a small win. That's America these days. Oh, small win. I sell, I take profit. It's like I remember last cycle, man, like the American Patriots, like they were out in full force. No one was even thinking about taking profits, man. Like America was like, I will go down with this ship. America just kept bidding and bidding and bidding. And they're like, I will not stop bidding. I will mortgage my house. I will take out, 40% APY, like short-term debt. I will do Quicken loans. I will bid everything that I possibly can. And then this cycle, it's just full of profit takers and jeets, man. We need something to change. We need something to change because I don't know where my country has gone, but we just don't have it anymore, man. We've lost control. So anyways, those are some of my thoughts. I'm disappointed in my country. They can't seem to bid at the New York Open anymore, but what do you guys think? Welcome to the panel.
I mean,
where my country gone?
Where my country gone, man?
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's so real,
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I think a lot of people are literally scarred from last cycle, Americans at least, right? You had Celsius and Voyager and BlockFi and FTX and Luna. Like, I don't think the 2017 class is really scarred, but I think last cycle's participants and people that, like we talk to people, we talk to normies about crypto. It's like, the first thing they ask about is SBF, and I'm like, dude, he's been in jail. Like,
dude,
what?
they love to do that too.
They love SBF.
They love SBF,
talking about it. Yes, dude, I don't get it. So, but yeah, people are literally scarred. At least in America. Clearly, Asia doesn't care. They've gotten over it. Same with Europe. But I don't know whether it's this. Oh, that bull flag, that normie bull flag didn't really play, huh? I don't know whether it's ETF selling, right? Because there is some of that. And there is a case to be made, I think, for boomers. Just, they all bought Bitcoin at 40K, 45K, whatever. And they're now Bitcoin's at like what, 65, 70K. Like that's for them. I mean, that's like 10 years worth of gains, right? Like they're not used to that kind of price appreciation. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense that they would be selling the ETF a little bit, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're fine here, though. I think we're fine.
Is it mostly ETF selling though? Is that real?
I think there's still net inflows. I'd have to look. I think there's still net inflows, but I mean, there is selling every day of the ETF, obviously, and I think there's still a little bit of grayscale left, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're still getting rid of their bags. It's not as strong of a flow as it was in terms of selling, but yeah, they still are for sure. Also, we get an ETH ETF in like a week, so let's not forget about that. That should be huge, right? But yeah, man, where my country gone? Truly.
Dude, for real though. Tommy, thoughts, brother? Will Patriots ever regain control, or is this a new paradigm where Americans are just happy with a quick 20% and then that's it?
I don't really have any thoughts on the boomer or the America driven selling specifically, other than, it's just been kind of like, that's just kind of been the tendency over the last few weeks, has been, New York Open, bankers wake up and they just want to hit the sell button. But the reason I'm not going to assign too much importance to that, though, is because you look over in the equity markets at how, I think, rosy it looks over there, right? Like I was going through probably the top 10 or 15 companies in the NASDAQ before. I can't remember if it was on like Monday or Tuesday, but it might have been over the weekend. Doesn't matter. But there's not a chart at the top of the NASDAQ that looks bad, at least not that I could find, right? And so if you're an equity bear, you're kind of just rooting for, like, your top's put in by parabolas breaking, essentially. So like all of these other charts, obviously Nvidia has been in price discovery. Apple just entered price discovery. You're kind of rooting for these breakouts to fail. But at the same time, you have all these other large cap tech stocks like AVGO, Meta to a lesser extent. Tesla is grinding up, but honestly, a lot of these companies they're looking pretty perky. So it's difficult to see the downside case for the NASDAQ here unless you do get some sort of extreme pullback on probably specifically just NVIDIA. Yeah, study perkiness. But I have to imagine that eventually that's going to bleed over into Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just, man, the lower time frame price action on Bitcoin and ETH is absolutely demonic right now, more so on Bitcoin. But I really think once you exit this range, right, because I think a big reason why it is so, I'm going to use the word again, demonic on a lower time frame is because you have so much built up positioning. It's been 3 or 4 months since we've left this range. Large players have vested interest in defending their positions, defending these pivots, within the range a little bit more closely. And I think that's what we're seeing. But once we leave the range, in either direction, I think the positional unwind is going to be pretty massive. Right. And obviously, I think given the context of what we're seeing with the NASDAQ, I have to believe that that's going to lead to breakouts the top side of the range rather than to the downside.
Tommy, most important thing you said, the most important, when you're in a range for 4 months and you finally get a break of value, it is not a little bleep higher or lower. It goes, you know what I mean? Like study NVIDIA, right? Study NVIDIA. It doesn't just go a little bit. It goes a lot of bit. Sorry, Tucker, you were going to say something.
Yeah, no, just the comment, right? The like this mentality, right? If stocks pull back, imagine what happens to crypto, right?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't think
we have. I mean, how many stocks at the top of the NASDAQ are literally breaking out of multi-month ranges, right? To your point, to both of your points, honestly, like you look at the top of the NASDAQ and with the exception of probably Tesla, I think they've all either broken out of it already or are actively in the process of breaking out of 3 to 5 month ranges in equities right now. And I think contextually, it makes sense to see Bitcoin in the same position, but also the argument, if stocks pull back, imagine crypto, right? And that's true. Like if stocks pull back, crypto probably does get hammered. But why do stocks have to pull back if the context is every stock at the top of the index is about to essentially enter price discovery if it's not already there? It's just difficult for me to be too bearish, especially when you look at not just Apple and NVIDIA, but also Microsoft, which is, it used to be the largest company in the world before NVIDIA flipped it last week. And Microsoft is in price discovery too. So,
I mean, dude, this is where you bid, man. This is where you bid. Like, you just have to.
I mean, you bid here because you have to hold around here. You know? And that's actually a good strategy, is identifying the level that needs to hold, or ideally should hold for a more short-term, immediate-term reaction, and you shove it, right? So, like, where do we need to hold? Probably 63, lowest. Like, you get to 63, you start bidding, because if not, it's over. You're going down probably back to the 50s. So,
yeah. That's why you can set up a trade like that, right? You can really set up a high RR trade if you know where you literally have to hold. Because I don't think we're just gonna do this. Like,
all right, I have something I'm just noticing that I want to bring to your guys' attention. I don't know how much weight you put in this.
A lot. A lot.
First of all, totally unhinged comment. Thank you, Rob Z. I'm not even sure what to say about that. Why?
He needs a bigger mustache.
What? Oh, is it a reference to my facial hair? What about? I'll ask you to expand on that, Rob Z. What about my new camera? What specific quality is being highlighted that makes you think that? But what I was gonna say is, what do we make of Bitcoin miners literally being green across the board today? Like everyone on my watch list. Maybe there's some junk ones that aren't on my watch list. But if you pull up all the Bitcoin miner companies, We got CLSK up 3.5. We got Mara up almost 5. We got Riot up 2.5. You know, so I'm like, what do we make of some of these Bitcoin? I guess like Bitcoin related companies, right? I don't know what MicroStrategy or Coinbase is doing or Robinhood, but Bitcoin miners being green while Bitcoin USD is just full on Patriots have lost control, you know?
I mean, I don't have anything with miners specifically, but I think you can kind of look at the behavior of Bitcoin beta, like ETH and other altcoins. So, I mean, not all beta is looking good, but Ethereum on a lower time frame is making, it's continuing to make lower time frame divergences against Bitcoin. I think we were talking about this on Tuesday. That's something that we have seen for a few days now. There are a few altcoins that are starting to do the same. I think you can make the argument that even if Bitcoin does go lower, a lot of these altcoins have flushed so much. Like there's already been the forced selling that we've, unless you're going to go significantly deeper, of course, you can always find more forced sellers, but at least locally speaking, we pushed out a lot of, the forced puking, the forced selling, in altcoins. Maybe that's the same in, miners for options plays, things like that, derivatives, but I don't have anything, miner specific. That might be a question for Prometheus, actually.
See, what I've noticed, and I'm not a Bitcoin mining expert at all. I understand it enough just to have I've got like a high school understanding. I've got a GED equivalent of Bitcoin miner education. Okay, just enough. All right, just enough to understand it. But what I have noticed is that when Bitcoin miner companies have dumped and Bitcoin USD has looked good, Bitcoin typically will follow them to the downside in the coming weeks. On the other side of that, it's not always, but I have noticed when Bitcoin miner companies or companies like MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Robinhood have been green when Bitcoin has been red in the past, typically Bitcoin USD will be quick to sort of turn it around and follow suit. So I don't know, maybe I'm cherry picking, right? Maybe I'm subconsciously just like picking data, noticing things on my watch list that fit my bias, but I feel like in the past we've talked about this. I've noticed this before. So I mean, maybe it's cope, maybe it's my hope, maybe it's glass half full, but the past 2 weeks or so, I have noticed Bitcoin miner companies have been holding up pretty well, right? And I know there's a whole like energy play to this, which has kind of become a little bit more popular recently, but I guess my hope is that they are leading the way a little bit. And this is just kind of a textbook, like technical correction for Bitcoin before blasting off here. Because Tommy, you either put it in the Discord or you tweeted about it. There were a lot of NASDAQ PO3s on Mega Cap Tech that played out really cleanly. And Bitcoin and ETH kind of look like they're trying to do the same thing, but they're like 3-4 weeks behind. I don't remember where you posted it though.
Yeah, it was actually talking about the Broadcom chart, the AVGO specifically. I think looks like Bitcoin and ETH kind of to an extent, but it's like kind of what I was saying. I mean, I really think you have all of these NASDAQ charts that they're either in the process of breaking out, they've been broken out, or they're literally about to break out of multi-month ranges. When you look across the board, like I'm serious, you could pull up a list of NASDAQ tickers right now on the show and look at every single chart. They all kind of look the same. And they all, they don't look exactly like Bitcoin and ETH, but there are some striking similarities across the board where you have all these NASDAQ charts breaking out. It's just difficult for me to imagine Bitcoin and ETH not also doing the same. And I remember kind of having this conversation the opposite way, right? Back last October, because, Bitcoin and crypto moved before equities did off that low. And everybody was talking about how, what happens if, no, I mean, it was just basically the exact same conversation in reverse. But ultimately, equities did end up catching up to crypto, and crypto was kind of that canary in the coal mine. I don't know what the supply pressure is on crypto at the moment. There's pretty clearly something, especially on Bitcoin. You can chalk it up to Germany. You can chalk it up to whatever you want. When you're in a 3 or 4 month range, there's a lot of built up positioning. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of incentivization to defend specific pivots to, you know, if you're a bear, you're distributing up here. If you're a bull, you're buying, you're accumulating for another leg higher with the basis that NASDAQ stocks have already done the same. So I do think that Bitcoin and ETH will catch up, and it's just a matter of time. And I think the lower time frame chop and grind that we're seeing is just making it seem more bearish than I think it is. Like these just the Bitcoin PA specifically is just awful. It's awful. Like the last 10 days of Bitcoin price action have been, to say a meat grinder would be generous. It would be generous.
You know what it is, man? It's like, and I talked about this in a video that I just made. If you look at this, this is perfect. Leave this chart right here, Tucker. Like, there is no way to look at this and feel bullish, right? Every pop gets sold into. I mean, you've been conditioned, for those that are actively watching this market on a daily basis, you're being conditioned to think there is an abundance of selling right now. And maybe locally there is selling, right? But when you zoom out, we're still in a range, right? So how I'm viewing this right now is you are being conditioned to feel ultra high time frame bearish because of local price action, right? And it's a fallacy to assume on the higher time frames that just because we haven't gone up means that we're going to go down. That doesn't work like that. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean the opposite will happen. It could just be nothing, which on the higher time frames, nothing has happened. 15-minute time frame going back 7 days, you're being conditioned to feel like, wow, this is heavy. Every time I see green, it gets sold into. Look at that. Up, sold into, up, sold into, up, sold into. So I just want people to be careful and recognize, like, this is very, very local chop. This doesn't change anything on the high time frames, right? If you have a high time frame bearish thesis, okay, fine, let's entertain it. But I will not allow anybody with, you know, the 15-minute time frame up to tell me that we're going to go to 45K because of what happened, what's happening on the 15-minute time frame. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, look at what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Like, I mean, if you rotated all the way back down there, that would be rough, and I don't think that should happen. But you're still, you know, weekly 3-day time frames. You still look great. You still look great, and obviously, like those. Timeless had a tweet about it, right? Like those regime shifts and rotation to risk off will start lower time frame, right? Like you're not going to see it on the weekly first, but still, I think you still look fantastic here, right? Like I don't think
Tucker,
there's anything.
throw up the 20-week SMA, bro. The bull market support band, bro. Throw up the 20-week SMA.
I mean, this is a good bull market support band.
It's great. I love it. I love it.
Let's see.
But I'm going to ask you to put it in log mode and put up the 20-week SMA.
In log?
Of course, log, bro. Study log mode.
Get way more protest to the log mode.
Go back to the 2017 cycle for me.
Oh, we have to do BLX now.
Yeah, go back to the 2017 cycle. Okay, study the bull market support band.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay? Study that. Now, study where we're at right now. Study. I just want people to study. That's it. So I gave you guys a little bit of a warning. Okay. I dropped in a comment. I said, start panic liking. I'm afraid to look at the like button right now.
No.
Hold up. I'm going to look at it.
I can't look at it. Don't tell me what it is. Okay.
Well, you're not going to like it.
Oh, no. I knew I was. I mean,
yeah,
bro,
start guessing over under.
We had 80 when I dropped that comment. I bet we have 100, but barely.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah,
we got about 100.
A little bit over.
Dude. All right. Tucker, we're going to have to throw up the cotton candy chart, brother. Cotton candy.
We just gained 30 likes in 10 seconds.
They're panic liking. They know. Tucker, let's get cotton candy futures up, please.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's drop it down to the lower time frames.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Let's maybe put on hike and poopy candles.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, here's the deal. We're looking at the cotton candy futures on the 10-second time frame right now. I came in here today happy, right? I came in here excited to discuss markets, to have a great time. I did give you some homework, right? I've been emphasizing study. You need to study. I take all that back. The only thing you need to study right now is the like button. All right. You need to study and observe that like button because the like button is in shambles right now. It's discriminatory and it's despicable how you guys have neglected the like button. Talk about Patriots losing control. This audience has lost control, guys. It has lost control of the like button. Guys, if you are enjoying the content, if you are enjoying the show, if you want to support us here at BB, who shows up every single day for you guys, we love hanging out with you guys. If you want this channel to continue to grow, we find the most motivation, the most inspiration, the most growth out of you smashing that like button. It does wonders for our channel, guys. I cannot emphasize it enough. If it didn't matter, we wouldn't be looking at the cotton candy futures chart. Tucker, please go to the 15-second time frame. I'd like a little different look at the cotton candy futures. We're gonna zoom out a little bit, a little higher time frame. Really clear up some of that noise. That's very nice. Very nice. Maybe you could draw a volume profile on this for us. I'm just curious if we've got some support underneath us. Maybe a little bit of volume. Yeah, study that.
Yeah,
study that. But guys, but for real, the mega cap tech overlords, they have us by the balls. Okay, they have us. End of discussion. They basically say if you don't get likes on your stuff, you're not going to grow. I one day dream to live in a world where the like button doesn't even exist, where it doesn't matter, where somehow the algos have a way of evaluating quality content and consistent content and boosting it and amplifying it. But it's a very kind of archaic way to evaluate a show and a channel is by the like button. I mean, you'd think in the 2024 age of AI, there would be a way to determine which content should get boosted and amplified without a like button. But here we are, studying Dixie on the 1 second time frame, begging for likes. I'm ashamed, guys. It's a sad world and a sad reality that we live in, but it is a requirement. So thank you guys for the support. Let's see what we got up to. We were at 80 last time I checked. 191. That's pretty good, guys. I'd love 200, but I think we'll get there. All right, let's get back to the show.
Well,
and
AZ,
look who we have here. Looky, the doctor.
Somebody thinks Dixie looks
Good morning,
good.
doctor.
Toby, I'm gonna need you to rebut.
I'm looking for sponsors.
Rebut the dollar.
Yeah, rebut the dollar looks strong from the comments.
I mean, we do this whole rigmarole every time the dollar shows any lower time frame strength, man. It's like it's exactly like last October when it threatened the breakout numerous times and never actually did it. At least it is to me, because I feel like even this morning, when you had altcoins and Bitcoin just selling off pretty relentlessly from that local high, the dollar was just kind of staying stationary. So I just continue to think these are more than likely liquidity games around inflection points. But, you know, as I've said to our Discord, I think you can interpret the high time frame context of dollar differently, right? Like the chart is painted to look bullish. I think it's painted to look bearish. Truthfully, we're not going to know until a few weeks from now. I'm still in the camp it's going to roll over, man. I am. Just basing it off of the behavior that I feel like I observe on a lower time frame on the dollar, right? Like people love to bull post the dollar when it's green. You don't really see them ever talk that. You don't see dollar bulls talk about the dollar when the dollar is red, only when it's green. So it's kind of like, it almost feels a bit like a carrot on a stick. And that I just don't think it's that important. You can probably assign some dollar strength to what's happening in other countries where they're cutting rates. I don't know if China's maybe doing something like that as well. I think they're printing money in a few weeks. Don't quote me on that. I think I saw someone post about that on my Discord, but that's neither here nor there. I would just say the price action that I'm observing on the dollar, you know, yes, it can be painted and interpreted bullishly, but I don't think the momentum to the upside is really all that strong, personally.
Yeah. No, I don't think it looks that great. Will, what's up, man? It's good to have you. Good to have you back.
I'm just titling the stream here that on the Twitter. I titled it. I applied at McDonald's this morning.
Good.
Okay, so let me address the dollar quick. First of all, this chart does look good. Okay, this chart does look good. Like Tucker, extend that green box over to the previous high.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
No. But let me explain. Let me explain why it doesn't matter. Okay, so
because I just saw KeyCat do the same pattern.
Oh my God, Tommy! Wow, you're well. Then
Okay, hang on. Let me
hold on.
address this here.
Don't worry, it's already on my chart, Tucker.
That's the GCAT pattern right there, Tommy.
I think there's still another downside rotation.
You said the GCAT, not the KeyCat.
I don't think I'm going to do that personally.
Listen, the chart does look good. Okay, if there's one thing that you need to know about DXY, it's that this is the most manipulated chart in the world. There is a very large incentive for this chart to be highly manipulated. Okay, the dollar is not actually strong. Now, what do we know is coming later this year? What's being priced in almost to an absolute certainty for later this year? Rate cuts. Now, what happens historically when the effective federal funds rate rolls over and we start to get interest rate cuts? What happens? DXY craps its pants. Okay, so maybe Tucker, you could zoom out just a wee bit. Just zoom out, just with your mouse. There you go. Now let's go to the upper left corner and let's add on the effective federal funds rate.
Right. You always want me to do this, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
New Pain. There you go. Study New Pain.
This.
Study Fu Manchu. Take that off.
Study it.
Fu Manchu.
Study Fu Manchu. Now, what historically happens when we get rate cuts?
That's a tough look right there.
It's a tough look for DXY.
I don't know. You kind of kept going up a little bit though. So
Oh man.
I'm saying.
Oh, man.
I mean, what happened here? What happened? Like,
you still got all over high.
Okay, that weird spike, Tucker, that was COVID, bro. So that doesn't count. That was some weird that is not going to happen again, bro. They doubled the monetary supply here in the US.
Go to the previous one, Tucker.
I know. We're gonna cherry pick. I know, guys. I understand. I'm on the same team. Okay?
Yeah. No. You just love to just call black swans, Tucker, because I'm not gonna allow
no black swan
happening, bro. We're not getting
no black swan. No black swan. Just
okay.
A 2.7% increase after the first cut. After the second,
and if we ignore COVID, down only. Okay. But go back to previous effective federal funds rate cuts as well. Right?
Can you throw
go back to that one. Study previous
only.
ones, bro. Look at what happens. Nuke, goodbye. How about the one before that? Goodbye, right? So I'm just saying, like, you're being lied to right now. This is your distributive region for DXY because we're gonna get rate cuts this year.
But Max, you can't tell me.
But that's also cherry picking, Tucker, because what about the high before that?
No, okay, look, I found two now where it went up afterwards.
I'm not talking about local, 2 or 3 week up moves. I'm talking a multi-month, multi-year fade.
That's what we're on, the 10% move in 2000.
But you're cherry picking that low, brother. Why not do it from the high?
Because that's where the first cut was. Look,
no, if you actually look at the date, no, it's actually back further. If you actually look at the first date of that cut,
where's the cut? Okay, it dropped from December, whatever. Like, this is the cut right here. Like, okay, so it dropped. If we want to get granular, it dropped 5%, and then it rallied 11, right?
Like, I feel like we should
they were cutting.
We should highlight the alpha.
And that's only one example. I understand that.
We should highlight the alpha of the day, and that is Ryolu. All right, Ryolu is giving the alpha of the day. If we could highlight that real quick.
Hold on, I gotta do this. Somebody else do it. Yeah, I obviously, like, this is a fade on like a what is this? That was 4 years to the bottom though, 5 years.
DXY is cooked, bro. So even if it does that little deviation you drew, Tucker, it's cooked.
No,
when we get cuts, it's cooked.
I think the move. I know. I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I think the move is to fade like the second or third cut on Dixie. You know.
Well, that would kind of align with like our stock market view, right?
Yeah. Like you can get a pop after the first one.
I'm just saying, like
No
you're not
reason.
gonna go on to make a new high at like 115 or something. So all these dollar bulls that are like, 120's on the table for Dixie. No, best
Oh,
case
yeah,
you deviate the previous high, and then you're cooked. That's it.
What's like?
That's your bull
Yeah.
case for DXY.
Yeah,
So yeah, if we want to get bullish DXY, that's what's gonna happen. But it's
I mean,
not gonna
that
be a
entire
dollar
move-
milkshake shit.
That entire move on the dollar since the beginning of 2024 looks like a very low momentum bear flag to me.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is let me know when we're done talking about indicators that don't fucking matter. Like
Indicators that don't matter.
Will,
Like,
what
Agreed, Will. We
indicator
should be
do you
looking at
see?
the
There's-
moon.
what do you want to
Will,
look
there's
at?
not
What
a
do you want to look
single
at?
indicator on this chart right now, bro. There's not one indicator on this chart. So what
dollar-
indicator are you
He
talking
means
about?
the
dollar-
ticker. He means the ticker.
look, the dollar is so fucking lagging. It's not even funny. Like people love to look at the dollar and be like, oh, I can predict the future. It's like, no, you can't. It's a fucking lagging indicator. It's lagging the market. It's literally trailing where the market's going. It's like if you want something immediate, use something immediate. What's immediate? The immediate's the RSI. It's a strength indicator.
Ooh,
You
I
don't need
know
the
about
fucking
all
dollar.
that. Nah, Will. RSI is also lagging. Let's just.
It is not as a leading indicator.
There
Go
is
look
more
it up.
signal
no.
in RSI than there is Dixie. I will
100%.
100%.
100% more.
but it's lagging. It's okay.
It is not lagging. Go look it up. You can look up leading and lagging indicators. It will tell you RSI.
Tucker, are you about to
not
get
a
cooked
lagging
by the
indicator.
doctor right now? What's happening?
No, it's lagging. It lags price.
Stochastic
price
is
moves
not lagging
first.
either.
Price
No,
moves
brother.
first.
The
They
doctor
move
is
in tandem. They move in tandem.
Incorrect.
Google it.
RSI is not leading
Google
that
it.
shot.
Google it. What does Google say?
Can be a leading indicator, but also
It is a
can
leading.
be a lag. It's giving me garbage, bro.
It's a leading
Oh,
indicator
man.
on a higher time frame.
Yes.
It's a leading indicator.
It's leading and lagging. In its absolute sense, it's lagging because price has to move first for the indicator to move.
They
Thank
move
you.
in tandem. That's
story.
what leading is.
Mic drop. It's over. It's
Bro,
over.
price moves
Damn,
and
sorry.
strength moves.
Damn.
You are wrong. You're
Oh,
100%
man,
wrong.
that was. I didn't mean to have to do that to you, Will.
Oh my
Damn,
God.
Will. It's over.
When did you become the fry cook? That's what I'm trying to
While you were gone, man. While you were gone.
When
Here
did
it
you
is.
become the fry cook?
Hold on. We got it.
Look,
Oh.
stochastic and RSI are leading indicators. All right, they are absolutely.
Tucker, read that out loud. You have a screenshot. What is it?
RSI is a technical indicator that can act as both leading and lagging. In its absolute sense, it is lagging because price has to move first for the indicator.
Everything in that case would be lagging. Then
Incorrect. You want to know why?
100%.
You want to know what actually is a leading
RSI is
indicator?
one of the most immediate. And bro, what do you?
I actually-
Fu Manchu is
What do you
leading.
think that is made of?
No,
it is
brother,
made of.
trust.
It is made of RSI, stochastic, and fucking EMAs.
You want to know what's leading about it? Is
Other.
the light blue wave is leading. Trust me, Will. Trust me.
If you want to look up lagging, it's called MAs and EMAs. Go look them up.
I'm gonna butt into this discussion.
There.
I'm actually
Careful,
gonna say,
Tommy.
well, I think momentum leads price, and I think that's what Will is trying to say. Like RSI as an indicator isn't going to necessarily tell you exactly where price is going to go, just like any other indicator. But you can look at momentum, like high time frame momentum on an RSI, for example. Like this is the whole purpose of divergences, and I don't really trade with divergences myself, but you can have price moving higher and simultaneously RSI dropping, while essentially telegraphing the
What's
shift
going to happen?
It's not going to tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but it is telegraphing that drop off in momentum, which probably will lead to a shift in trend. So I think from that standpoint, RSI can be predictive, because it is.
I'm not saying it's not predictive. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not predictive. We don't need to keep arguing.
Let me give my thoughts on this. Who gives a fuck? It works. Use it or don't. Let's move on. Let's
The
study the
only
moon.
indicator that
Tucker,
matters,
can you pull
the
up
moon.
Bitcoin and put the moon on, brother? We need to talk about tomorrow.
Brother.
No,
We have to
Will,
talk about the
is-
moon now.
Will,
when
Will,
Jack
Will,
gets
Will,
back.
Will, if we
can't.
pump tomorrow, Will, if we pump tomorrow, I want a public apology and I want you to officially endorse the
If
rock.
we pump
Okay.
tomorrow, look, Santa Claus is real. The Easter
Okay,
Bunny is real.
okay.
We can,
Will,
Oh my
we can
God.
talk about
Will. Bull moon, summer solstice, my son's first birthday. The trifecta of bullishness. Don't you fade, Will.
Look,
Do not
I'll give
fade
your
tomorrow.
son's birthday, but I'm not giving the moon anything. All right.
Brother, you don't look at this chart. How do you not respect the rock, Will? I don't understand
Look,
how you look at this.
Let me just explain it, okay?
I can't, bro.
I can hold on. Just let me explain it.
All right,
I
go
can
ahead,
go.
go ahead.
I can go to the casino, and let's say somebody blows on my dice, and I hit 2 or 3
And that
times in a row.
worked too, by the way. Have you tried that?
Yeah, that
And then
does
so
work.
every time I go back to the casino, I'm just gonna have them blow on my dice every single time. And
Brother,
if
you
I
don't
hit,
you don't shake
I'm
it
gonna-
up and have someone blow on it when you're playing
Look, hold
craps.
on.
That's why
If-
you're
if-
losing.
If I hit, then I'm gonna say it's because they blew on my dice. If I don't hit, I'm gonna say it's because they didn't blow hard enough. All right.
Well, let me
That's
tell
basically
you
how
a
this
story
works.
about that. I actually have, before we get into the moon, I have to tell you about a story. I was playing craps. Okay, I was in New York visiting a friend. There were a few of us there, and I'm sitting at a craps table, and I'm kind of just betting the lines. Like I'm not like a craps expert or anything, but basically we've got beer. Okay, I don't remember what kind it was. We were basically taking fireball shots and we were drinking beer. Okay, this was a few years back, and basically I get kind of hot and I'm throwing the dice, and like I can't miss. All right, I'm like I've probably thrown the dice 20, 25 times, haven't crapped out. Okay, and there's a bunch of dudes at the end of the table. Very superstitious group of dudes. I'm not going to tell you what they look like, but think about a group of people that are historically superstitious, okay? Very superstitious. All right. They're sitting at the end of the table, hyping me up. And apparently, I didn't even realize this. Apparently, between each throw of the dice, I would take a sip of beer. I didn't realize I was doing that. And I take the dice and I'm about to throw them, and these guys freaked out at me. They're, whoa, what are you doing? No. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they were like, you've been taking a sip of beer in between each throw of the dice. You need to take a sip. And I was like, I'm out of my beer. That's why I didn't sip it apparently. And I was like, guys, it's fine. And I threw the dice and I crapped out immediately. Okay. Crapped out. So all I'm saying is, Will, there's some things you can't explain in this world that you just have to accept. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. All right. I'm a little stitious. Study The Office. All right.
I had people tell me the world is flat and that there are icebergs around the edge, but we don't have to get into that, right? We don't have to get into that.
So here, let me just finish this. You can't understand the importance of the rock, all right? But you need to respect it because you, as one man, a simple man, not an almighty, not a powerful, not a deity, not a star, not a moon. You just respect it, right? Respect the things you don't fully understand.
What Goblin has said here makes plenty of sense. So you either got to be a flat earther or a mooner. Which one are you?
Incorrect. Incorrect. You don't want to go down this
He
rabbit
wants
hole.
to support all the theses.
We have a whole.
He's like,
we have a
this is
whole
how the
channel in
Easter
the
Bunny
Discord.
fits in with Santa Claus, and then this is how St. Patrick's Day's Lucky Charms fits in.
Will,
with the
we have
Easter
a whole.
Bunny
We have
and
a
the pot of
smooth
gold.
brain channel in the Discord for just these kinds of discussions. Okay? I made it. I created it. All right. So
Tucker's brain is sandpaper down smooth, brother.
yeah, Will, your brain is too corrugated. I'm gonna get a belt sander and just
Let's
run
run
it
across.
down. Yeah,
Polish
gonna
it.
help. It's gonna help you out. But here's the deal.
Can I get the chart when you guys get a minute after you tell me when Santa Claus is going to show up and give me my presents?
It's tomorrow, Will. It's tomorrow. He's coming tomorrow. Yes.
Dude, we're ripping. We're at 65K again. Will, how are you fading the setup?
Study the
look,
3-5 maturation.
I don't need moons to tell me anything. RSI told me everything. All right,
Will, true or false? You were bear posting in the Discord this morning. True or false?
I wasn't bear posting anything. What do you mean?
Thought I saw a
I
chart.
think I saw a bear post on Twitter from Will too the other
I
day.
saw a chart that alluded to
Brother,
sub 60K. Will, true or false?
No, it didn't. It didn't allude to anything. I said your percentage chance is very, very unlikely. But I like to entertain the bears so that way they don't feel left out. I mean, that's basically it, right? We want them to still feel like they have nuts, even though they may not.
Study strawberries, Will.
But
the strawberry moon. Tommy, tell them about the strawberry moon quick. Tell them about the strawberry moon.
I'll say it, and then I'll pass the mic to you, Will. The strawberry moon is supposed to represent prosperity, so I tend to think that's a good thing, and it's supposed to be the most powerful full moon of the year. So, rock respecters, it's our time.
Yep. Study.
And you didn't see bear post from me, Haggard, because it shows that you didn't read my post at all. That's what it shows. You maybe
not in the Discord. Not in the Discord.
No, I'm talking about on Twitter.
What?
There was nothing bearish in that post that said it's more likely not going to happen.
Oh, it was no. I know you gave it a slant, but the chart I'm talking about solely the chart was a little bit.
No, I showed people, what they wanted to, their bear port that they wanted to see.
Hang on, I'm gonna show this right now, real quick, Will, because I want you to just explain to me how this. Look at here it is in the Discord from this morning. I see that looks like bearishness to me.
It's a bounce right where we're sitting at.
No, bro. Look at that yellow line.
Yeah, look at the yellow line. There's two of them.
Okay, there's one that goes up from there. Yeah.
There's two of them showing different directions.
Okay, that's true. That's true. That is true. But there is one yellow that goes way down there, Will, which is alarming because I don't want you to. You're my friend, Will. Okay, and I can't allow my friend to get bearish right here. You know what I mean? So I'm worried about you. I'm just worried about you. I don't want.
Never forget 25K. There's no bearishness here.
Okay. All right.
I pulled them out. I held them in my hand, and I was like, "Look, these are real. That's it. All right. That's it. Okay. Not prison style. All right. So
do not pick it up. Don't leave it. Don't leave it there. Yeah. Don't pick it up.
But the point that I wanted to get to is like the trend is in favor, in my perspective, of upside as long as you continue to hold the trend. It just is what it is. People can sit here and cry about it all they want. Your lower highs aren't that low. Your teapot's tipping to the upside. That's what it's doing here. And that's why I put the arrow showing from here breaking out and showing that if you break here, you're coming down, you're going to start playing the low range again. And that's your two scenarios. But the likeliness play here is that we hold trend. Now, what else did I use to support that? And again, this is why I wrote this out on Twitter so people can understand what's going on with stochastic. Where's stochastic at? Your lagging indicator. Where's it at? It's at the bottom of the range, right? Probably one of the most immediate indicators, even more immediate than the RSI itself. Not to mention, again, your lagging indicator, the RSI, right? Going on the weekly. Oh, look at that. Where are we at on the lagging indicator? We're right on trend. Right?
That doesn't make it not lagging. All right, just continue.
We're right on trend.
What does this comment mean? Can someone real quick?
Oh my god!
Max eats his burgers with a knife and fork. Will uses his hands.
Lesson in there, Max. Lesson in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that's like the biggest insult I've ever received, or just like.
Yeah, no, it is.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
There are lessons learned there, right? Okay. Some people, they have to wash their hands when they finish eating. Other people, they don't have to wash their hands, but that's all dependent.
Wait,
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of I'm actually super cleanly. Like I actually don't really like getting food on my hands, like being totally honest. I do eat my burger with my hands though, but to be totally transparent, I usually do cut it in half. and then I pick it up.
Max, you need to study ribs, brother.
I will say this, like I have seen people cut them in half just for context, just to see the inside of the burger and see if it's cooked right or to their liking, and then they eat it.
You just gotta ape the burger.
That's true too. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that just like, look, you put the burger in front of me, I'm just eating it. This is what it is. Like,
Wabi eats burger face only.
No, what does that even mean?
No hands, just he does.
I've seen it too, bro.
Yeah,
when we get to the Reds place.
Max, how do you eat pizza? I'm curious. Do you cut it with a knife and fork?
No, I pick it up. But I actually will say I saw Tucker eat pizza in person. This dude literally cuts his pizza with a fork and a knife.
Incorrect.
I was about to call you out, bro. I saw it.
No, I had to get the pizza separated, and then I saw
you take a few bites with a knife and fork.
Hagrid, this is how you separate it. One hand,
Tucker,
2 hands,
Tucker.
separate, eat.
Tucker, ciao Bella. You ordered a pizza.
I know.
And I watched you, and I was about to call you out and say, brother, you're acting like a freak right now. But I left you alone.
And then I picked it up.
Okay, yeah, but you did take a few bites with knife and fork.
No, I separated. It wasn't separated.
I watched you do it with my own 2 eyes.
Well, real quick. Hey, we have more pressing issues. Senor asked squares or triangles.
What? For what? Pizza? I mean,
Oh, brother, triangles. Study bull flags. Triangles all day long.
I don't know, man. I kind of like squares.
I like squares too. I'm not gonna lie. I like squares. Well, here's the thing. Look, I like squares with thin crust. I like triangles with thick crust. Is that weird? It might be. Yeah, but like, let's get back to the chart.
Right? Okay, we got a little sidetracked. That's a good point, Will. All right, let's get back to it.
So again, lagging indicator at the bottom of the range, right?
Yeah.
Lagging indicator sitting right on trend, right?
Good classification.
It was also lagging right here, right? At the bottom of the market, telling you that the market was going to go up from here. It was lagging before the market ever went up. That's what we call lagging, telling you ahead of time. And so in these cases, this is what they mean by leading or lagging, right? Is like leading is anytime you get a bull div or a bear div, right? That's your leading portion of the RSI. Lagging means it's just following trend at the moment, and that can always break. But as of right now, the one thing they always tell you and that you should always stick to, and it should always be your fundamental foundation to any trading strategy, is the trend is your friend, right? And strength trend is on point. It is on point. People can sit there and be like, oh, we're going to go down to here, we're going to go into there. RSI is not telling me that at all. Stochastic is not telling me that at all. They're both bottomed out simultaneously. If stochastic was up here and RSI was right here, I would probably be like, okay, we need to kind of keep watching this because this thing could come down further, right? But because stochastic's where it's at, RSI is right on trend, I think the two are lining up for some kind of big bounce or reversal type play. That's my thought, my thesis here. This is what I was writing on Twitter. It's like, this is what I think is the, I would say, the secret ingredient, right? The secret ingredient to this play. Now, again, I just want to show leading, lagging, market going up, right? What do we see right here? Strength dropping. Again, leading, telling you the market's about to fall over, right? Let's do another one over here, right? What do we see right here? We see the market following exactly the price. Now, if we were to go to like BLX and we were to go into something that has more history, again, it's just another one of those that does basically the same thing. It's a leading, lagging indicator. You basically get a double bottom, right? Right in here. You get a higher low strength, and then you get a market run from off of that on the lows. And time again, RSI does what? RSI tells you where the bottom is of each market. I could literally mark these out. Boom, 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 Now, here's the thing. You could buy here, 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 you could buy here. You buy here, here, anywhere's in here, right? And you probably bought somewhere's near the bottom of the market. Time and time and time again. But it's lagging, right? It's lagging. But these are strength points, we'll say, in a sense where you can always know where to buy and you can always know where to sell. We haven't hit the sell position yet. You're muted, Max, if you're talking. Max, you're muted. We can't hear you.
What
Your
the
mic's
fuck
there. You
is
go.
going
You're
on?
good.
Oh,
You're
you
good.
can hear me now?
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Dude, I didn't even do anything. Okay, Will, your stochastic is fully reset, right? If you go back to that.
Yeah, it's 100% reset. Exactly.
Can you just blow that up a little bit, maybe? Just a little
Oh,
noisy.
you mean right here?
Yeah, like it's floored.
Yeah, it's bottom.
It's bottomed. So then I have a question. What are we even talking about? You know? What are we talking about?
That's what I keep telling people, but they keep talking about 40K Bitcoin.
No, it's not happening. Okay. I want to show you guys something, okay? I want to show you guys something. Will, I don't mean to cheat the chart from you, but I want to just, this is in confluence with what you're saying. Well, I posted this morning, okay? It's really, really clear. Okay? It's really, really clear. We're doing what we've done every cycle. Study this chart, right? Study this chart. Nothing is different about this. Nothing. Additionally, I'm going to add this down at the bottom. Okay, this right here is others dominance. So this is like when we're about to get alt season, okay? So what do we notice about the structure here, right? Boom, boom, and then big sell-off right as Bitcoin is, kind of halfway through its cycle, right? Let's even do this, right? Make this a little bit thicker. Are you guys studying this? I want to make sure everybody's studying this. Okay, same exact thing here. Set our low, others dominance rally, nuke fest right as Bitcoin is trying to get through its previous cycle all-time high. You see the nuke fest for others dominance, right? But we come back, and when we nuke, we set a higher time frame for others dominance, higher time frame, higher low. All right, let's keep it moving. What just happened right now? Low, high, Jeet fest for others dominance. Where are we at right now? We are trying, and I know this is busy because I put the other fractals over here. I can drag them down, okay? So you can see it. Where are we at right now? Same exact region as every other cycle, right? Right before others dominance goes crazy, this is exactly where we're at. It's the same thing as every other cycle. Same exact thing.
This is making me feel like this is not a 2020. This is making me feel like a 2017 cycle. Like, look how long we sat there at 2017 and played that high before we broke out. We're doing the same exact freaking move as we speak. We're just sitting here playing the high before the breakout.
Same exact thing.
The information play.
Same exact thing. And look at the spookiest part, Will, is the timing. Like from the the first bear market plunge low, like when we set our floor, to the global top, 1,066 days. 2020 cycle, 1,067 days. Right? This shit's spooky. It's spooky. So what are we expecting from here, in my opinion? This is the bottom for others dominance. If it's not the bottom, it's very, very, very close. Like so close. You're about to basically just see this. Like you're gonna see
this is the parabolic phase getting ready to play out.
It's this. Like this is what's about to happen. Is Bitcoin's gonna go into price discovery, Bitcoin's going to go into price discovery, and altcoins going to go crazy, crazy, crazy. This is what's going to happen right here. Everybody's getting bearish. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. Look at this chart.
Well, plus the time frames too. If you could flip it back real quick, Max, like the time frames, I think just people are just they're not getting it. It's not difficult to understand, but like 364 days for cycle 1, right? 568 days for cycle 2.
Are you talking about post halving or like what are you
post halving?
All right, well, let's throw the halvings up there. I'll throw the halvings up there. Oh wait, this is the wrong chart. That's okay. We can mark out the halvings. There's an indicator for that. Bitcoin.
And this is it's not disputable. It's not it's basically immutable, right? Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand is like you cannot dispute that because it's never deviated from those factors that I gave.
Yeah, here's the halvings.
The only thing you can argue is how long. Will it be a year? Will it be 2 years? Right? That you can argue that. I'm down for arguing that, but we're not even close to a year yet. We're not even close to a year after halving.
See, this is actually interesting to see as well. Like marking out the halvings on this chart. Here's the halvings in yellow.
Look what happened after every single halving.
Altcoin, others' dominance gets destroyed, and then it just rallies so hard out of this dip, right? Like this is literally where we're at. Like we are right in this region, like about to go nuts. We are. It's the same as every cycle.
Well, we're on the part where altcoins are about to go parabolic. Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like this is the part from 17 where altcoins would absolutely ape shit to the upside.
And Will, let me show you another chart. Let's look at ETH dominance here. Okay. Let's look at ETH dominance. Bro, you can't be you cannot be bearish altcoins with ETH dominance looking like this. You can't be. Because maybe we get stuffed here, one last time we're gonna do this. When this pops up like this and we flip this level.
The second you flip that and it comes back down, people are going to be like, oh, it's over.
When you flip this level right here, literally every altcoin is going to go bananas, man, for ETH dominance. Bananas. Study bananas. This is the only chart that matters right here, man.
Max,
this is your level.
Here's the thing. I'm more scared right now to deleverage than anything. I am much more scared to deleverage because every time I freaking deleverage, it's been against me. Every single time. Now I'm trained like don't be stupid, don't deleverage. Literally just hold your foot on the gas, keep this thing running. It will eventually fill back up. And I think everybody's consistently looking for areas to deleverage, and it's usually the worst possible spots to look to deleverage. Why are people talking about deleveraging at 65K Bitcoin and we're talking about it at 75K Bitcoin?
Probably because they tacked on too much leverage at 75K Bitcoin.
You got to hold. It is what it is. If you bought the highs, you got to hold it. Like if you can't do that and you're consistently buying the highs and you're like, oh, if I sell here, I can get 5K cheaper and then I could rebalance my position. No, you can't. No, you can't. The market's not going to let you do that. It's absolutely not going to let you do that. The market is pushing down into price ranges that are very stressful for a lot of individuals, even financially, because a lot of people put money in expecting money tomorrow. And the reality is they've trapped you. And now you can decide. You can say, okay, I'm going to sell at a loss and hope to God that it goes lower. Or you can say, all right, well, I know what they're trying to do here and I know the direction of the market overall. I'm going to take the position of the overall position of the market.
Yeah, that chart looks good. You got to hold that 0.5 on ETH, man. You got to.
I mean, where are we at? 3,400 ETH? I mean, it's literally the exact price. Exact price. I don't even remember when I think it might have been a couple weeks ago. We were talking about 3,400 was the low, and it's holding it beautifully. It is holding that $3,400 range beautifully. I don't think it goes much deeper than that. I think to me, Max, remember when we talked about the Cheeto in the door the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that, and every freaking time that Cheeto was a freaking rock.
Yep.
That Cheeto was 10 years old. It was as hard as the rocks in the front of your driveway. Okay? It held that door. The wind was not blowing it open. And I'm telling people, like, watch how hard this rock ends up being.
I could see this right here, like locally. I could see this sweep, like a little sweep right here down to like 63.5, and then just like straight up, something like this. I don't know about you guys, because what I look at this too is like ETH looks fine here. ETH doesn't look like it really wants to go too much deeper. Like ETH looks like it's just setting. Like locally, ETH looks like it wants to just, whenever Bitcoin's done doing whatever the hell this is, flip this level and then just run. Like ETH looks like it wants to do this.
And there's going to be no hesitation when it does flip that. I think it's just going to go straight up. Like people are going to expect some kind of consolidation there. I think it just blasted that high end range consolidation.
Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin just looks like crap, bro. I mean, locally, it just doesn't. Patriots have lost control, you know?
Max, can you go to 25K real quick?
Sure, I can. Let me just draw this out first. Must hold. You can come down there, but must hold. I don't want this range low again. I do not want it. You want 25K, Will?
Yeah, just so before we started running up again, go ahead and do a replay down to that very low dip on the right. Roughly
replay
about
down to
18th,
where?
September 18th.
Like right around here?
No, more to left. The lowest dip.
Here.
Yep, right in there. What do you think people were thinking right here?
They were probably thinking like this.
And what did we get?
Not that. They were probably looking for this. This looks like that would, like, because you got all these lows right here. Like, I would have expected, this is obvious as fuck. You know what I mean? Like this, I would have wanted that when I look at this chart.
And what did they do? Go ahead and hit the play button. Show them what they did. Like sometimes you have to go back and do this mentally.
They took out these lows, but they didn't get the deviation.
Exactly. You didn't get the price you were looking for. You took out the lows and you ran. That's basically it. Now, if you go back to where we are right now and you just hit the end button there.
We're gonna watch it go through at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And that was your vertical accumulation. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, damn. We're gonna cancel it. That's just gonna take too damn long.
But the point being is this has happened time and time. Look at, hold on real quick. Go to February. Mark that bottom out.
Right here.
Yep. Just mark a line for horizontal or vertical. Sorry. Yeah, you can do that too, but do a vertical line of where that low was.
A vertical line, like you want, like this.
Straight on down. Yep. Now go over to May and mark that same bottom. People have lost it, man. They can't see chart patterns that are literally mimicking each other. Your low has been set, in my perspective. Your low has been set. I don't think you come back down. Tell me that low doesn't look almost identical to the low right there in May.
It looks similar. I mean,
The structure and everything.
I mean, we could do this, right?
But that already happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, could be this, right?
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are like, well, it's coming back down again. Yeah, it's coming back down again in a structured way. It's coming back down again. It's never going to repeat. It's just going to rhyme, which means even though we went kind of sideways and then up there, now we're kind of coming down, and then I think we'll shoot up from where we are now. But we have to hold that 64K range. That's the low that needs to be held.
This is kind of what I wonder. Like, I wonder if we're doing something like,
people want to repeat a 25K so badly. I'm seeing it consistently on the timeline.
I mean, what if this is a slightly shortened up version? You know what I mean? So it's like, this is kind of where you're at, but we're already, you know, down into this region.
You mean the right side's already formed? Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, so the timing is going to be different, right? But like, what if we're just doing this, right? It's, you know, there's your top, there's your top, there's your bottom, there's your bottom. What if it's like top, top, bottom, and now we're just bottom, you know, and it'll just be like this, right?
Well, yeah, that's the higher low structure that I keep talking about. I mean, the RSI supports it and the stochastic supports that thesis that it's not going to go lower than here. And that's why I said, arguably, if you do go lower than here, your RSI is going to go below trend. Your stochastic is going to floor more, which isn't a big deal. That's normal.
Yeah.
But the RSI breaking trend for me would be significant. I don't think that would be a small feat that's going to just rebound and come back up. You have to hold that trend. That's the trend since the bottom, since the bull did bottom. You have to hold it. Otherwise, you're going into probably a 3 to 6 month downtrend or sideways price action. In my opinion.
Can you imagine another 3 to 6 months of this, man?
No, I could not, dude.
Oh.
I could not.
It'll be hell. It'll be literal hell.
Man, oh man.
You gotta hold that. You gotta hold that trend, man. I mean, here's the thing too with NVIDIA. I'm glad you brought that one up. It was the same thing with NVIDIA. Every time it fell over, people were like, "Oh, down, down, down. This is it. It's over." And then what does it do? Cheeto in the doors and then rips. Cheeto in the door and then rips every single time.
You guys know what Thursdays are known for, by the way, as far as crypto returns go?
The worst day of the week.
You are absolutely correct, Tucker. So I'm just going to say that, leave that there. I think we're going higher, boys. I've laid out why I think that is. It's up to crypto to do it now. But man, it's definitely the lower time frame price action has been. I think I saw somebody say it earlier in the comment section, but this market hates swing traders. As we've seen Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin, become more efficient on a lower time frame, breakout traders and swing traders are having an increasingly difficult time because there's just not really those inefficient gaps and price action that we usually see from crypto and in trending markets. They haven't been really as prevalent. They've just been relentlessly punishing longs. But I actually do have some derivative alpha I want to share really briefly before we wrap up the show. Anything too serious. Like, I won't go through more than probably just Bitcoin, but I think it's worth looking at, is what I'll say.
Do it, Tommy. Take the chart for me and do it.
Real quick, Tommy, before you get into that, like, I think that as far as perspectives go, and just to lean into what you're saying, I would say the volatility is shit. It's literal shit. Like, if you're sitting here telling people you're swing trading, you aren't making fucking money. You're absolutely not making money. Like, you tell me you're swing trading Bitcoin,
Damn,
I'll tell you you're
calling me out, bro.
Like,
there haven't been really any swing trades on Bitcoin, man. If you've been trying to trade Bitcoin, it's been rough, honestly.
Yeah, the ball is crap.
Actually, it's kind of funny because I used to absolutely hate trading. Hold on, sorry, that's my fiance. But hold on, guys.
Okay, yeah, but just talking on the swing trading side of things, yeah, I'm not seeing the volatility, man. To me, you need high vol to swing trade, and there's no high vol right now. So, like, if you're like, I'm gonna sell Bitcoin to buy back here, you're literally just shooting blanks in the dark. There's no volatility to say it will go there or up. I would say arguably your biggest swings in this market since the bottom have been to the upside, not to the downside. Like your highest vol swing days have been upside plays.
Yeah.
That's why the trend is your friend. Like if you could just show them, Max, like literally just show them each swing up and how high it went each time. Like why would you trade downside on this? Like it makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, starting at the bottom, this went up 105%, and then this pullback was 20%. You can see this here, 21%. And then from this low to this high, 100%. I'll do this. Hang on.
We're giving bearish perspective on why downside plays make no fucking sense in this market.
All right. And then the pullback right here. Gotta delete these. And then the pullback right here. 21%. And then from this low to this high, 90+%. Then from this high,
I think we're making alpha here,
to
Max.
this low,
I think we're making alpha.
we're making alpha. I mean, it's this kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Let's show that upswing.
90 to 100% on the rallies, and then you pull back 20%. Pull back 20%.
Oh, look at that. I think we're hitting our lows. What's the next upswing if we just do a continuation of what we?
All right, let's just assume we hold 63. We'll just assume for now. Okay. Say even conservatively 90%. That'd be our lowest. That'd be our lowest pop this entire time. Right. Actually, no. We have to do it from the low.
Yeah, do it from the lows. Yeah.
So let's just say 90% would be 100, just over 100K Bitcoin.
Ooh, I think we just made some alpha just talking about a little, what the upside downside swings look like.
Study.
Just created some alpha.
Just created alpha. Do you see this, Tommy? You see this alpha we just created?
Well, I'm looking now.
just from the upside downside swings.
I was just saying I thought it would. I think it's funny how I always have hated trading Ethereum, and then over the last few weeks, I feel like Bitcoin has just gotten just ridiculously awful to trade, and I've simultaneously fallen in love with trading Ethereum. And in kind of the wake of that, it's just kind of interesting dynamics there. But I miss the alpha that you guys found. But looking at it now, and I agree, it fits my bias.
So what we were kind of stating is like, why would you short swing this market at all? Because the downside vol has been so low, right? And then the upside vol has been massive. So almost every upswing has been 90% plus. Every downswing has only been 20%, roughly, right? Give or take a few percent. And so your better RR trade has always been to stay long in this market at the moment if you're looking to be a swing trader. This is just showing that short-term volatility bears aren't making money. They're just talking shit on the timeline. That's all they're doing.
Well, I will say Bitcoin bears are not making money, but altcoin bears in the right spots are printing a lot of money. Because I remember, even last summer, those were trades that we were hitting, like even just being long Bitcoin, short altcoins, they just bleed out, down only infinitely for weeks on end. At times, man, it can be really frustrating. But Bitcoin bears are not having a good time. You have to put serious size on Bitcoin to make any real money shorting, at least over the last 2 years. But
your downside has been limited, man. It's been crap. Like a 20% pullback against a 100% like breakout, it makes no sense to even try and short it. Unless you have massive size, right? And it's an easy play to the downside. then and you're going to come in with a big leverage position, with a high leverage position, then it can make sense. But I think you're just taking on too much risk doing that.
I agree.
You are.
What's nice about Bitcoin?
You're cutting out, Tommy.
Me? Oh no,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh no, you hear me now?
I think you're good now. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, word. No, I was saying, I think that's no, not on this browser, but there is one on my computer pretty much at all times. But yeah, I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, I remember. Bitcoin. The fact that it doesn't have that volatility means that, if you are sizing up into swings in the right levels, your downside risk can be pretty muted. Just because there hasn't been that much downside volatility on Bitcoin. It's been very muted. But if you're trying to leverage long altcoins, like I don't even know what to say. I haven't tried to lever altcoins in a pretty long time, at least not with any meaningful size, just because they're so illiquid, man. Bitcoin can undo a pump in the span of a few minutes or the span of a few hours, few days, whatever. And altcoins can just completely nuke any uptrending structures that they have. So I just the times to be levered long altcoins have been so small over the last 2 years that I feel like I don't even really try to do that. It's better to, if you are trying to leverage trade like Bitcoin and ETH, there's just less volatility, so it's just kind of more forgiving. But I don't really think it's a market that's been very favorable to leverage traders in general over the last 2 years anyway, right? Like Bitcoin and ETH spend so much time on an intraday basis with such low volatility that you can sit in positions with nothing really happening, for days on end. And the moves that you do get, we haven't had a volatility expansion in Bitcoin and ETH in like a real volatility expansion. ETH had one for like a few weeks ago, obviously, because that news kind of came out of nowhere. But even that, that's getting mean reverted right now. So the crypto market just trades differently, and maybe that we'll see that kind of tendency break as we get deeper into the cycle. But right now, it's pretty clear people haven't quite adjusted to kind of the new norm with how these assets move just yet.
It almost, to me, Bitcoin almost looks like a stock now. Just comes up, breaks out, creates a range, plays the range, breaks out, creates a range, plays the range, breaks out, creates a range, plays the range, just like a stock does. And I think with ETFs, that only makes sense for it to move like a stock. And I think not enough people are taking that into context. And arguably, I would say Ethereum might start mimicking that pattern, right? Where it may actually break away from being the altcoin mother and basically become its own, stock-like entity. And the reality is maybe Sol picks up the lantern, right, and shows the way for altcoins moving forward, and Ethereum kind of loses that position, but does become more stable. I don't know.
I forgot who said it, but they were like, basically Bitcoin and ETH receive inflows over time so that their downside volatility is muted mostly forever, more or less. They go up, up only over a long enough period of time, but altcoins continue these just massive boom bust cycles because, let's be honest, altcoins are entirely driven by liquidity that's present in the crypto market. VC liquidity for VC scams, and then retail liquidity for meme coins.
Yep. And you're definitely seeing inflows, I think. I think that people just need to step out and look at that. You're seeing companies continue to thrive and survive in an environment that is not in favor of them, especially right now. VCs they're not having a good day, man. They're getting destroyed by these shit coins that are absolutely coming in and stealing the show from them.
Will, did you see that Jump is getting investigated by the CTFC now? That's about like 3 years too late, but they are finally being investigated.
That's wild. They're going to get them too, probably.
They should. They screwed a lot of people over with Luna with a bunch of backdoor deals they made with Do Kwon. And yeah, they're going to get in trouble for that. They deserve it. I hate trading junk coins, man. That's some leverage trader justice too. If you've ever traded LDO, INJ, yeah, you're feeling a little bit of justice today.
Yeah. It's definitely, I will say this too, it's humbling on days like this because as a bull trader, you're very confident in your play. A lot of people are very questionable, and like that's why like I'm very mellow tone today because it's like I already know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be scared. It's going to pop off, and then I get to come back and say I told you so, and everybody tells me I'm an arrogant asshole. It is what it is. But the reality is, like, we come on here and we do try and tell you guys the directionality of things. We try to give you guys the reality of things. Just whether or not you want to consume that and accept that into your thesis, whatever that may be.
I'd love to look at that derivatives data now that I'm not sidetracked. I think, yeah, I'll pull a meme real quick and steal the screen from you, Max.
Oh, yeah, I'm just doodling now.
It's going to be a brief stealing of the screen, but I think it's worth looking at.
Do it. Take it.
All right, let's look at some OI and context, gentlemen. Important here. I talk about these gaps on open interest pretty much all the time because they almost always fill. And as I've kind of learned over time, they serve as pivots for the market. So it's just something I was looking at yesterday. Pretty critical level, not just for obviously open interest. As you can see, we're kind of buoying off of it as support for now. But also, unsurprisingly, you know, if you look at where we are having a lot of issues flipping, you know, multiple stabs into this level of, I think it's fair to call it supply at this point because, you know, you've had this open interest in here, pretty much this entire consolidation, OI pumped. So it is effectively supply, right? Because they're underwater in price, even if open interest is buoying off of here as support. I don't really think we get like a big puke below this support. I think that would look pretty bad, honestly. I think it makes more sense that we continue to hold the on open interest. Realistically, it's probably exchanges. Saving.
Tommy, you are rugging, bro. You are rugging. We have a Tommy rug.
Oh no. Can you hear me now?
I can kind of hear you. You're frozen and pixelated.
What about now?
It's not looking good.
No.
Okay, wait, hang on.
You're back?
I think he's back.
Okay, I think you're back now.
Are we so back?
Yeah, we're back.
It was so over. Now we are so back.
Now we are back.
How much did you miss? How much did you miss? I'm curious.
You said you think it's exchanges. Some of it might be exchanges.
Yeah, I think exchanges like Binance are probably like propping price up so that this open interest doesn't puke, because if that happens, it'd be pretty nasty on their end. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that we hold this level on OI. But ultimately, I think the bigger picture play here, because look, you're kind of catching a knife, more or less, like as this price action has shown us, like lower low, yes, we stab up, but a lower low, squeeze, lower low, yada, yada, yada. You flip 67K. And I think this market gets really bullish. I mean, it's probably a move that if you like slow grind up here, pop, and then kind of consolidate and grind up to the highs, if I had to guess. But if you flip 67K, I don't think it's going to be a small candle. I that's a big level in the sand. Shorts get squeezed hard above that level. But
do you think, Tommy,
what the sell pressure is? Look at the frickin' spot CVD. It's been basically in distribution since we got up here. So that's how I think whales are honestly taking this opportunity to sell into, whether or not this is the top or not. I think ancient whales have probably been providing a good bit of sell pressure up here, which makes sense if you've been holding Bitcoin for over a decade and you have a ton of it. Now you have a ton of liquidity to sell into.
But Tommy, let me ask you a question. Right? Let me ask you a question. If you have 100,000 Bitcoin and you're at a level, where there's a lot of liquidity, and you sell 10,000 Bitcoin, what are you doing? What's the word that you're doing there?
You're
Other than
distributing.
distribution.
You're taking profit.
Cheating.
You're
Cheating.
that's
I thought that's what you might mean, but
when price goes up at each level, think of it as a position to deleverage, right? You're deleveraging some of your positioning. And I think like people don't understand the difference between deleveraging and an actual distributive top. Like each area is going to be a deleveraged position as we move higher and higher and higher, because these whales aren't going to buy more and more and more as price goes up. They're going to actually sell more and more and more as price goes up. That's where they're deleveraging their positions for downside. That's what they're doing. They're waiting. They're like, all right, this is a good area in the chart where I can deleverage some of my positioning. The volume is there. I'm going to deleverage against the volume. And then once volume dies back down, I'll then reaccumulate the low end of the range, and then price will go back up. And they'll do this until demand exceeds supply, right? When does demand exceed supply? Demand exceeds supply when price goes above all the highs. That's when demand starts to exceed supply. And at that positioning,
agree with that.
It's repositioning.
I agree with that because I kind of have a theory. I have a theory that Bitfinex is taking profit on some ancient tether leverage up here. I'm not going to give away what my data is that leads me to believe that, but there is part of me that thinks that could have been happening up here. But I will also say you are starting to see Finex and Tether hit the books again, hit the bid again. And that to me is a very positive sign that we could potentially go higher soon, because when Finex is bidding, we usually do. We usually do go higher. I'm just kind of waiting for a bit more of a spike, I think, in their OI to give me a bit more confidence in that theory. But yeah, I mean, this is a big level for Bitcoin, because if you lose it, you effectively put 3 or 4 billion in OI underwater. So it's not surprising there is so much of a concerted effort to hold price up here, is what I would say. But that's all I wanted to share, guys. That's all I wanted to share.
I think that's a great place to wrap up. Tommy, we've been going for 90 minutes. You want to take us out?
Yep, let's do it.
All right,
guys. A few housekeeping measures, as always, before we wrap up here. A reminder that we have launched our brand new hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. We are so excited that we can finally bring this to you guys, not just so that us as traders can trade it, but and invest, but also so that you guys can potentially participate, whether that is as an LP, an accredited investor. We do have more info linked in the description of this video below, but just kind of a general overview. The fund is a long short fund, so we can trade both directions, of course, run by the BB team. And we try to run the fund in a way that takes into account, obviously, crypto's historic propensity for upside and gains, as well as the investment risk posed in any market. So make sure to check that out if becoming an accredited investor or LP for the fund is something that interests you. We'll reach out to you and provide some information, hopefully answer any and all questions that you might have. Not to forget, guys, the BB Academy, sitting at a tremendous value of $4.99. You can learn from every single member of the team. And as I always say, I mean, I think the biggest value proposition for the BB Academy is the fact that we all trade very differently, right? Like I trade very differently than Will, and Will trades very differently than Jackus and Max. So you're getting a lot of experience and ultimately a lot of different styles and how to effectively manage the market and approach TA, approach your educational base. So I think it really is being offered at a tremendous value here at $4.99. So if that is something that interests you, and we ran a deal on it randomly last Tuesday, so maybe that's something we do in the future. I won't guarantee it because Tucker might give me a nasty face, but maybe that is something we run again in the future for BB Academy. So just stay tuned and keep tuning into Market Check. I have no idea what the like button is at for this stream, but a few days ago, you guys were absolutely crushing it with the like button. So shout out to you, the audience, once again. Real quickly, though, before we finish up, just want to touch on our programming really briefly. You guys know Market Check is live Monday through Friday. This week is a little bit weird because we did have a holiday smack dab in the middle of the week, so the markets were not open. But usually we are live Monday through Friday whenever the market is open, right? New York or at the stock exchange, right? Not just crypto, because crypto's open 24/7. But yeah, we love doing Market Check. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We debate about everything, man. We debate about crypto and charts, but we will also debate on how to properly eat things like burgers, pizza, and the like. So make sure to tune in if you enjoy just a bunch of guys yapping about markets and life. But not to forget Market Talk, run by King Wabi. That is a Twitter space that we host from the BB account. Make sure to stay followed and subscribed so you can be notified, not just when we go live, but also when we schedule those spaces. It's a great place to pop in to end your day. If you enjoyed Market Check, go over to Market Talk in the afternoon. Like I said, Wabi does a great job and we have some great guests on. So that's going to be very much the flow of the conversation. Who do we have on? Well, we could be talking about meme coins. We could be talking about macro. Who knows? But that's it from us, guys. That is it from us. We hope that you enjoyed the show. As always, we will be back for our final episode of the week tomorrow. We got a full moon tomorrow as well. I think we're all pretty excited to see what that does to the market. And have a great rest of your day, guys. Thanks again, and stay safe.